The History of Mary Prince is a short account. In the original printed version of 1831, it took up just 23 pages of the life of Mary Prince, a Caribbean slave. In my Penguin edition of 115 pages, it takes up roughly 1/5. The book, or rather pamphlet as it was originally called, was a piece of propaganda. Mary dictated her story to a representative of the Anti-Slavery Society in London. It was published with a collection of additional material designed to establish Mary's good character as well as to indict the slave owners. Mary's story retains the power to inspire shame, anger and disgust. Disturbingly, it takes us back into the England of the early 19th century, when the abolition of slavery, which nowadays can look like the inevitable consequence of human progress, looked far from assured. Powerful, influential voices were raised against it. They weren't obviously on the back foot. Mary comes from Bermuda. She's sold into a family whom she comes to love, but then the mistress of the house dies and she's sold to a brutal Captain I, then to a Mr. D. She suffers terrible boils. She's frequently whipped. Then she's sold to Mr. John Wood, a name, finally, not an initial, the book explains why, who together with his wife continues her brutal mistreatment. They bring her to England to look after their daughter. While she's here, she gets away. There are 3 protagonists in this book. Mary is obviously the most important. The next is Thomas Pringle, the secretary of the Anti-Slavery Society, who takes her in and vouches for her. Finally, there's Mr. John Wood, Mary's owner. When the history first appeared, a publication called Blackwood's Magazine cast doubt on Mary's truthfulness. Pringle sued. He won £5 in damages. But then Mr. John Wood, Mary's owner, sued Pringle for libel. This time, Wood won. Pringle was ordered to pay £25 in damages. He lost 5 times as much as he'd won in the first case. The case against slavery was far from beginning to be won at this position in history. Most of the history of Mary Prince is Thomas Pringle. Thanks to him, it's beyond question that Mary's account is utterly reliable, but also thanks to his various appendices, and this is a theme he returns to again and again, that slavery is a curse to the oppressor, scarcely less than to the oppressed. Its natural tendency is to brutalise both. Anyone who thinks that Edward Colston shouldn't have been pitched headlong into Bristol Harbour should read this book.